Okay, another Friday afternoon. So this is number 5, I believe. Okay, so what's happened this week? Well, I come back from the United States. Had a great trip at the Cyclotech conference. That was really worthwhile. There was so many great discussions and meeting a whole bunch of good people, talking about the things that we're doing here. So there was a lot of interest in the ultrasound scanning and the manufacturing defects and the in-service sort of damage that we're finding. So it was some really good discussions, and I've touched base with a few of the people already, and sort of keep some things going, some contacts going with some great people. So I had the flight back home. Flight was actually all right. I had a spare seat next to me in the window, and it was okay. It was okay. So and haven't felt sort of too bad sort of jet lag wise either. So good. So then this week just sort of been catching up on some assessments and repairs and things like that. So getting that rolling. Uploaded a video yesterday of the first in the series on the flaws and damage. So what I want to do with that is just really show you guys what the sort of damage that we can find, and explain what it looks like, what sort of effect it has, those sorts of things. So then when I say on a bike, when I do a review on a bike and I say, it's got resin dry or resin rich or a rink, or exactly what I'm talking about. So I thought it's probably best to sort of do that type of stuff first and get that rolling. So so anyway, let me know in the comments what you think of that. I mean, I've already had quite a few views on that, and a lot of positive feedback on that on the first episode. So so I'll keep going down that track. So so what else we got? We had a question from Shane Miller, GP Llama, who's also got a channel, and you've seen some of Shane shooting video with me along with Cycling Maven, Fergal Manergal, and so Shane sort of found this. He asked me the question earlier in the week about using your bike on the trainer, what sort of things we find, and from what we've seen so far, the corrosion is a big issue at the at the water bottle mounts and headsets and all that sort of stuff from the sweat, and so you're getting that corrosion. We do see wear on some of the dropouts, on the carbon dropouts, and it's on some but not others. So it's it might be more of a user thing as well. So yes, so that's sort of some of the things we've seen. But then Shane dug up out of the Specialized service manual, and in the manual it says don't use a carbon bike on a trainer where you remove the rear wheel, one of those direct drive trainers. So it'd be interesting to hear some feedback from Specialized on their reasoning behind that. Shane posted, he's got a Specialized tarmac, and he spends probably more time on the trainer than almost anyone on that bike over the last 5 years, and he hasn't had a problem. So, but I sort of like to get to the bottom of that. So, I mean, we haven't seen those sorts of issues come through for repair. So I'd like to hear from Specialized, just on a bit more engineering, whether they've actually done some engineering on that, or whether they've just basically put that statement in from a liability point of view, just to sort of, cover themselves if something does go wrong. So, yeah, I mean, I suppose fundamentally the bike should be able to meet the loads that are placed upon it when riding. And, I understand that the loads could be a little bit different in a direct drive trainer because, you don't have the ability of your tyre to change, pitch and yaw and things like that, which could then mitigate some load scenarios perhaps. But yeah, I mean, my gut feel, without sort of seeing any data on it at this point, the way to do it would be to strain gauge a bike, for instance. My gut feel is that the bike should be able to meet those loads, and but really more data required. So ideally, strain gauge a bike and see where the strain loads come in, and whether it's within the limits. So so more information required, really. So if there's anyone from Specialized there who can chime in and with if they've got any engineering data on that would be fantastic. So the other thing, I've had questions on. I had a question on the saddle rails. Like, why are the carbon saddle rails sort of oval as opposed to just round like typically the metal ones? And I mean, the reason for that is, well, the metal ones were round traditionally because they just used basically heavy gauge wire, a rod. So with the composite, you can actually design the shape, because you're moulding it. You might as well make it a more structurally efficient shape. So have it a bit deeper in that main bending axis, which will make it a bit stronger. And also, because the carbon is sort of one of its properties is it's less suitable for sort of point load and bearing sort of load like that. So by having the wall thickness a bit thicker, you mitigate some of those stresses as well. So what else? I had people offer to send some parts in to cut up and show. So that's fantastic. So I've had a handlebar arrive. A guy in the United States offered to send a rim in, and so that's good. I had a whole bunch of had a local giant dealer give me a whole box of dead frames as well. So so we've got plenty of things to do. But as I said, I'm probably more inclined to run through all the damage type scenarios and show you what they are before we get too deep into the bikes. But let me know what you think. I mean, I've got some cut up bikes here already, so I can start rolling some of those through. But it does take time to cut the bike up properly, and so it's sort of it's a reasonable job in itself to cut through all those bikes. So I will get to them. It's just a matter of time. So so we've got another weekend. The weather sort of in Melbourne sort of a bit surreal, really. It's I don't think it knows what it's doing. Sort of a winter in California was almost warmer than summer here, which is sort of a bit against the grain, I would have thought. But anyway, it is what it is. We can't do much about the weather. So anyway, hope to get out on the bike over the weekend. I think the weather's supposed to be all right. And we've got another week to go before Christmas. I'll try and bring you some more content next week. But for the moment, we'll wrap it up there. yeah, that's another Friday afternoon. And thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Okay, bye.